Hey, hi guys, how y'all doing? Huh, man, I'm out of breath. I just got off the phone with Jody. Had a little problem with his radio, and we were trying to troubleshoot it over the phone as the 0 hour approached here for the show. And sounds like he's got everything maybe figured out, but we'll see. If not, I guess we'll talk about it on Sunday night. How's everybody doing, man? Carlos. Carlos is my new agent, and he's out there rounding up people to come watch my show, which I think is kind of cool. Oh, you know what? I got the wrong backdrop up. It says FPV Workshop, and that's not where we are. Where we are, through the magic of all this electronic goody stuff, is we're here by the window with the breeze and the trees and clouds. So obviously I forgot to change one of the scenes, and I'll try not to do that again. So let's say hi to everybody till some of the panel dwellers start showing up. Russell, thank you, man. Drone Shots, Jody, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. And Jody and I kind of filled up the whole first part of the chat. Pond and More, good evening. Mike, Night Train, good to see you. Rick Halber's here. Hiya, Rick. How you doing, buddy? And Quad Farm, one of Ed's guys, came over to say hello, and thanks so much. Good to see you. And I think I gave all you guys wrenches as you popped up. Carlos is here, back from the sky. Birdman 316 RC. Man, we're getting some serious FPV guys in here now. I'm happy to see that. Who else we got? Pond backside. Rick Halber, Birdman, Quad Farm, same. Drone Shots. Jody, you're back. Good to see you. Ed, love my drones. How you doing, man? Hey, that was an exciting little live stream you had there, man. You maybe you should be flying like a beast size, 30-inch quad with 15-inch propellers and 6 loud beepers on it that you can trigger with your radio, because it's certainly easy to lose one of those tiny little whoops out there, and that's one of the fears I have when I fly those little whoops around my house, is between all the canals and trees and things like that. They're very, very easy to lose. Very easy to lose. EBR's here. Hey, how you doing? All the way from across the pond. Good to see you. Let me calm down here a second. So, I'm still here all by myself. Got nobody. And that's a pretty neat little live stream. And, I did pick up one of those little receivers like you have, and can hook it to my computer and fly around the house with it, and or outside the window. And I was going to do that today, because almost all day it was beautiful out there. It wasn't windy. It was nice. And then about 3:30, 4 o'clock, the wind just started kicking up like crazy, and then I saw you had it up where you are too, and that was a little too much. So we'll put it off another day. I was thinking on my studio I could just open the window here, fly it right out the window, fly around outside for a while, and then fly it right back in. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll have to do that sometime. Carlos is here, so let's give a round of applause for my agent. There he is. Hey, Carlos. Long time no see, young man.
How are you, sir? Good evening. So I was talking to Ed,
How you?
and that same thing that he's going to get, you have, and maybe a few other guys will have, and maybe we can, like, you know how they do the sunrises and sunsets?
Yeah.
Maybe we can do the same thing on a live stream, just do live flies from different place, different person to different person.
Yeah, that'd be great. The only problem is you got to have the weather when you're flying at little whoops. You got to have the weather permit. When you throw a Mavic up to shoot a sunrise or a Phantom, the wind is hardly not a factor. They just stay right where you put them until it turns into gale force. You know what it's like, and Ed probably was the reason that he kind of got thrown all over the place tonight. Was the wind? Yeah. So,
but I mean, here's a quick question for you. I think you might know the answer. If I have just the phone with that receiver, and I join Ed's stream, once I plug in that receiver, will it just automatically go to that picture, StreamYard, with the phone? Does that make sense? What I'm asking you?
Yeah, and I don't think so, because what's going to be happening is StreamYard is going to be running its app.
Right.
Okay, and there's an app that you run when you have that receiver plugged into your phone, and those two apps probably aren't going to talk to each other.
Oh, so I would have to bring a laptop along with me, and then tether.
Yeah, and the reason Ed can do what he's doing, and the reason that I can do what I'm doing here. Let me turn my little camera on, and I'll show you here. I got it right here. My little IV cam that I can turn on and take you guys for a little trip. Now I'm going to have to take my earphones off to go over there and show you, but I'll show you. So if you say something, I won't hear it.
Okay.
Anyway, what I got is got that receiver just tacked right up there on the rigging, and I can plug the USB into this USB plug that goes to my computer, and then I can actually bring that into my StreamYards, and broadcast it out just like I broadcasted that IV cam thing right there.
Right.
So I don't, I'm not running that app. So what I would have to do in order to go outside and talk to you, like Ed's doing, is I could do it one of two ways. I have wireless mics,
Okay.
and I have a wireless headphone too. Not this one. I have another one of those wireless mic things, and I can wire myself up with the IV cam thing I just showed you, where I can take the camera out there, I can take the microphone out there, I can take the headphones out there, and I can act my feed from the drone in and have StreamYards put it all together into a scene that I would create. But without all that equipment, it would be very hard to do.
Maybe what we could try, if we get Ed to cooperate, is
Ed?
I wonder if
Ed?
love my drones.
Ed, that guy right there, Ed?
By the way, Arizona Jones said hi. Ed, here's a quick suggestion if you want. Is there any way that you can get this StreamYards on your cell phone, Ed? Like the way I do?
Okay, here's the thing I'm having issues with, and that I don't understand, and perhaps Mitch can educate us.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Well, as it turns out, Mitch has the exact same receiver that I do.
Yeah, I
Right.
know. Why do you think I got it?
Oh, okay. So it has two plugs in the box.
Right.
So the one on the right, when you're left, when you're looking at SkyDroid, is what I plug into the computer.
Right. It's got a USB port and then it's got a little JST connector on there too.
Yeah, what's that for?
That's for direct wiring it up to a like a flight controller or something. In other words, you can actually get the video feed out of that. Just like if it was a receiver, like a ground station receiver for your goggles. It's just kind of like a ground station receiver, except it also has the circuitry to communicate by USB with the computer as well.
Well, I mean, because Carlos was asking me about plugging it into the phone, and I think like exactly like what Mitch was saying, you have to run. There's an app on your phone you have to use, because basically when I'm doing it with the computer, this is part of my virtual camera. And then I join the stream with my phone, so that's how you hear my voice.
Right. So you're basically in your stream twice. Once
Yeah.
from your computer and once from your cell phone. But in order to do that, you need to be hosting the StreamYard session.
Well, yeah, kind of
Yeah.
thing. Well, that's why you'll see me run back and forth.
I know,
Come back
I know.
to the house, change stuff on the computer, and then go back outside.
Yeah, I saw how you did it and figured it out. I didn't even know how you were doing it until today, when I saw you actually pop up as another participant in the chat there. And then I said, "Oh, that's how he's doing it. He's just calling. He's just going in on his cell phone and
So you're
broadcasting."
saying-
So it's a long way. You're going from your cell phone to the. Are you going off your house Wi-Fi, or are you actually going cellular?
No, when I go off the Wi-Fi, it screws up.
Yeah, so you're going cellular
Yeah.
for that connection. So that connection is going halfway around the world before it gets back to your computer to head on out or to mix all up in the StreamYards. It's amazing that it works as fast as it does, but it does. It's great.
I am surprised there's not more lag, actually.
Yeah, and I think it's incredibly an incredibly entertaining content
Oh,
for a
definitely.
live stream, because it's like getting together with the guys and going flying.
Ryan.
Yeah, that's it. I mean,
Yeah,
what is
and
that?
everybody
I mean,
puts on their goggles and watches the other guy fly. It's terrific, and
Now, what would
I
be
agree with you.
better
I think it'd be fun to do more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We can
it would be
go
fun to
Ed
be fun
and
to
then
do more.
Nick, and then someone else keeps. We keep taking turns, 2 or 3 minute flights each. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, or you know what, Greg Kunert at Oz by Drone. Let me say hi to Drone Days, just popped in here. Don't want to leave anybody out.
Yeah,
Greg
Bubba
Kunert.
Beyond Drones and Stingray aerials joined you also. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, how you doing, guys? Thanks for coming in. Timeless Truths. Yeah, thanks everybody for being here. Got a nice little crowd. Thanks to my new agent, unpaid agent. Yeah, man, I was impressed, Carlos. You were hyping like this show
I'm
was really
definitely-
like this was really going to be something special, and it's just
always
plain old.
something.
It's just the usual boring nonsense I do every Thursday night.
We're gonna make it something.
There we go. But no, I think that's a great idea, and I think it would be a blast. And I'm going to try to come up with some easy way where just about everybody might be able to do it without having to have a lot of hardware and a lot of special stuff to do it. And
So- Mitch, when
Yeah.
I've used the phone to join your streams, right? My cell phone, and I talk to you, and we do the whole stream through my cell phone. So if I'm on StreamYard in my cell phone and I stick that thing in there, StreamYard's not gonna recognize that
it's not
a
going to it's not going to
Okay.
see it. There.
All right,
I'm,
so then I
I'm
would
wondering
just
if there's a like that DU. There's some screen recorder programs like DU Recorder that the guys were using from their DJI
Oh, yeah,
drones
yeah.
to connect, but I've never used it, and I don't know if that
Okay.
would work. I don't think you can actually run the two active apps at the same time on a single cell phone and have them actually talk to each other.
Okay. Got
Uh, Yeah.
So
But
that external receiver requires an app of its own to get it going. It's not just
yeah,
plug
yeah.
in.
There's an app.
I
There's an
think
app.
they call it ROTG
Oh,
receiver
okay.
or something.
Okay, I didn't know that.
What's the name of it
It
here?
kind of
Well,
like sets up a virtual cam
it's
in your
called.
phone.
Yeah, it's called FPV SkyDroid. I got it right here on this phone.
Oh, it's an
Uh,
app on the phone.
Yeah, FPV SkyDroid. All I do is go to it, and it'll say, "Please connect the FUAV receiver." Hang on a second, I'll show you.
Well, that's a great idea.
I'll be right back.
You
I
were
gotta go
learning
get the cable for it.
We're learning
Talk
something
amongst
after.
yourselves.
So Ed, you use an app for your receiver on your computer?
No, I don't.
Oh, so you just plug it in
XSplit,
and you tell StreamYard to recognize it?
well, XSplit is kind of like a in-between point between just regular StreamYard and what Mitch is doing with the OBS. And so what XSplit sees, my SkyDroid is just another virtual camera. So
Oh,
I
okay.
just add the camera.
Yeah, when you
Got it.
plug it into a PC, it'll show up as a virtual camera. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to plug. It comes with a you need a cable for my phone that has a USB-C on the other end. Okay, so I'm going to plug this into my phone here. I hear an echo from somewhere. Where is that?
Ed, are you echoing? Yes, he is. Not me. I'm innocent, I tell you.
Okay, so I plugged it into my phone and nothing's happening.
Uh-oh.
So let's try it again. I haven't used it on my phone in a while. Maybe I'm not plugged in all the way. You know, just leave it to camera settings. Force landscape, auto recorder connected. No. It's not connecting. You know what? Let me.
Times.
It never fails. Whenever you go, whenever you're live,
Yeah.
something.
Exactly.
Oh, it says here that SkyDroid is running. So why isn't it connecting to the receiver? Well, that sucks. Pardon my French.
Once
wonder
you
if
get that working, Mitch, once you see some static on that screen, then you need
Yeah,
to see
then
if you can
then we
join
then
the
we got it.
screen.
I'm wondering if I've got that app on the other phone here, because maybe I have to reboot. You know, you have to reboot your phone every once in a
Turn it
while.
off and on, yep.
I've got IV Cam on this phone, but I have all the Arju Pilot stuff on this phone, but I don't have SkyDroid. And now I've opened that up again. Oh God. Okay. So that's not it. Let me. I'm just going to reboot the
Different
phone
phone?
here. I'm going to reboot the phone just for the hell of it. None of you guys are going to be calling me within the next 5 seconds. So let me power off and restart. Give that a chance.
Yep, cool.
I got to call anybody. Jody was calling me like 10 minutes before the show started. Some really strange thing happened to his radio, and I don't know what the hell that
And this
was
is
all
a new
about.
radio?
Yeah, the jumper. He was getting some stuck key errors, and he was blaming me.
Uh-oh.
Well, he was, because he said that after he went through the steps that I did to set up that throttle limiting nonsense that we talked about on Sunday.
Oh, with the knob.
Yeah, he said his radio broke.
That's in the bug. That's what
Hey,
they
you know,
call
why
that.
not? Why not? Yeah, but you guys, do I have to do this again?
For no purchase necessary, offer valid at participating locations, void where prohibited. No animals were harmed during the production of this soundboard. Subject to change without notice. Side effects include dry mouth, occasional pig snort or two, sore stomach, teary eyes, achy jaws, and whatever tingles well. Laughing hard.
And that about covers any responsibility on my part. Okay.
Bingo. I'm going to have
That's
to remember
like
that.
Indigo printed some TPU mounts for arm guards for somebody, and now the guy's motors are screwed up. And I'm like, well, you know,
Yeah, well, that's what happens. You try to be a nice guy, and there we go. Okay.
You like the
Now
choker.
I got static.
Ah,
All
All
right.
right, now, hey, Mitch.
All right. So I'm gonna hook.
Now
I'm gonna
you need
connect.
to try and bring yourself into the stream with the static.
Well, I can do that, but I can't do that on the phone. There's no way I can
Why
do that on
not?
the phone.
Why
Well, because
not?
the minute I open StreamYards on the phone, that it's going to put that app for this app in the background. It's not going to be running.
It won't act like your StreamYard camera?
No.
can you try it?
Really?
No, you don't think it's going to work?
You guys, you really want to screw up my whole entire stream, don't you? All right,
No,
we'll try it.
no.
Hold
Well,
on,
it
hold
could
on.
be a
In
learning
the name,
experience.
in the name of experimenting, we're going to try to do that. So what I need to do here is I need to email myself an invitation
Right.
to my own stream. Okay, so
You might want to
hang on
mute
a-
something.
No, oh, hold on a second here. So what I'm going to do is
We
I'm
can take a
going
few
to-
seconds of echo. We can handle that.
No, that's all right. I'll handle it. It's the smoke I'm
Aren't we
worried about.
pushy
you know.
guys?
It's the smoke and the fire that I'm worried about. Okay, compose a new message to me, and let's get an invite going and put it in there, and say,
I hope the backstage treats you better than we got treated.
all right, and send myself that email. Okay, to this phone, and wait for it. I'm
Is
waiting.
that an Apple?
No.
Okay. So you might have to open it in Chrome. Actually,
No, I
you
got
have
it.
to.
No, I got
Okay.
it. I have the app on this phone. All right, so I'm gonna become a guest on my own show, and you might hear, please host the broadcast. I don't want to host the broadcast. Oh, you know what? The stupid thing knows that I'm the host of this thing, and it's saying that only guests can join from their mobile devices. So you're not using StreamYards, Ed, are you? Using something else?
No, StreamYard's on my phone. I just come in.
And it lets you come in while you're hosting with StreamYards.
Yeah.
Well, that's stupid. Hold
Ed,
on
can
a
you do me
second.
a favor, Ed? Can you you don't have your cell phone with you that you can get into this chat, into this stream? Or you do?
Actually, Mitch, now that you mention it, for whatever reason, the way I have my cell phone set up, it's under a different email,
Yeah,
and I
that's
come in as
that's
a flying lunatic.
yeah, that's the problem. It's the same account on my cell phone, the same Gmail as is the address for StreamYard. So
I see, because I have two StreamYard accounts, and one is Love My Drones, and one is my regular name.
yeah, well, that's why you can do it. So that just makes it more complicated, doesn't it? What I want to do is I want to go back to this static screen again, and I want to go over here.
So, Ed, you can't put this on your phone. Hey,
Oh, wow.
there's the race
I
driver.
want to go over to here, and you can see the static on there. Let me zoom in on that. All right.
I did not know about the app he is talking about, Carlos.
No, I understand, but I'm saying if you get the email through your phone and open it in Chrome, it'll take you straight into this live stream. You don't need any app.
Yeah, as a guest. You
No,
can do
I
that
don't
as
need
a
any
guest.
app.
Well, that's
No,
what
I
I'm saying.
can- I
So
can
if you
join
do
on my
that,
phone.
Ed, if you can do that and then just take your receiver and plug it in, see what happens.
Man,
I already did that. Nothing
And it
happened.
doesn't work? Okay.
No, it doesn't work.
All right, I'm going to plug this drone in here because I want to see. I want to. You see on the screen that I get the feed. Yeah, and that gives you a nice picture too on your cell phone, and it's kind of a handy thing if you're out at the field. You want to let somebody ride along with you. You don't have a spare set of goggles, or a ground station. You can use your phone. But if I plug this thing like you do, Ed, into the computer, it sees this as a virtual camera. and then I could just bring it into OBS or whatever software. Which one are you using? Twitch or something like that?
Ed, which are you using? Isn't that split?
Oh, I'm using XSplit.
XSplit, yeah. Well, and I'm using OBS, but you do the same thing. You lay out your scenes, decide which source you want where, and that way you can bring that that live feed in as a virtual camera. But it would be a shame, and it would be very hard for us to pull off having these live fly type of gatherings if everybody had to have all this equipment and setup to do it. You know, don't you think?
Well, it's just that one receiver, no? And
well, yeah, but in order to have that on your stream and the feed from the drone on your stream at the same time, it's going to require a setup like Ed has or I have. Let me think about, see if there's some way. And I was about to say to you that, you know, Greg Kunert, Oz by Drone, decided he wanted to have live fly-ins from all over the world, but he wasn't talking about FPV. He was talking about Mavics and camera drones, and which all have a way to broadcast live streams to YouTube through that you can put an RMTP and a key in, and he actually went to the trouble because he's some kind of engineer and set up an RMTP server, and people would connect to his RMTP server from their drones, and
now that's getting complicated.
Then he could bring it into his Wirecast setup that he has, and it was very complicated and worked about half the time. But I think what we're trying to accomplish is simpler. But Ed, you and I'll we'll keep on it, Carlos, and we'll see if we can at least do it with the two of us. And we do it with the two of us, and then we'll figure out ways to get some other people to do it too. How's that?
I think that'd be awesome.
All right. And you're tired of looking at my worktop, so I'll bring myself back into it. At any rate, guys.
Real quick, Ray Kelly, hello, and Mr. R.L.
Yeah, hey, Ray Kelly, Peter Carroll, and Ron Lockwood is here. Good to see John Coopy. John, I still don't know how you pronounce your name. Would you please phonetically spell it? Either put in there COOP, and if it's otherwise, I'm going to keep calling you Cuppy, because that's how you pronounce cup, CUP. So if it's Coopy, phonetically found Coopy. All right, it is officially, guys, Coopy, John Coopy, and it's like Tommaso Sullivan. It took me quite a while to finally learn from him that he pronounces his name Tomas and not Thomas. And we went through that for quite a while. So John Coopy is here, and how you doing? Good to see you. And it's really an honor for a nobody YouTuber like me. To have in my chat a fella that was featured on Ken Herron's show, and yeah, John was. Yeah, it was.
Oh, I thought you were going to put.
No, John Coopy was. Yes, sir. He was. Anyway, John, I thought that was cool. Your appearance was great. You did real good, man, and congratulations. And poor Micah Night Train is up there half underwater. I saw your video today, Mike. That one area where the bridge was out, was that where the dam broke? I wasn't sure about that, but anyway, that was really something.
Tragic, actually.
And the burning question that Carlos was asking me earlier was,
oh yes,
have I flown this?
I'll just let you know, Mitch, that I'm showing 21 watching now.
I see that, and it's thanks to you guys. You brought half your crowd over here. But, you know, Mike is going to steal them all away at 7 o'clock anyway, so I may as well have a little fun before everybody goes.
They'll stay for a while.
Yeah. Anyway, the weather has been real bad. Windy. But this morning it was nice, and I didn't have a lot of time, but I said, you know what, I'm going to get a flight in on this thing, at least one flight before I got to go on Thursday night and tell Rick I haven't flown his birthday present yet. So I did take it out. I took it out to down in my community here, down by where they're building the interchange, and I threw a battery, and I got one little flight in, and it's a nothing flight without any drama. I didn't hit anything. I didn't fly through anything. I didn't do any rolls or loops or any of that crap. I just wanted to get the feel of the drone and fly it around a little bit.
Yeah.
And I will show you that
You
that
have
flight
pretty good.
right now. And like you did, Ed, I took it off in stabilized mode and said, what the hell's wrong with this? So then I figured that out and put it in air mode.
And how do you like it as far as the speed? Pretty quick, right? Considering?
Yeah, I wasn't really hot rodding it around. It felt a little faster than the regular Tinyhawk, but
Definitely.
but it handled well. It handled well, and they've been building on this interchange for a while. And since I'm inside of a airport area, I can't fly my camera drones. So I wanted to get up high at least a little bit and have a look at
Yeah,
the new
you're
highway.
up there.
I wanted to see the new highway, see what it looked like. So I figured, well, let me take this opportunity to. Oh, I got higher than that. I got so high it started telling me my radio signal was getting weak. But no, I just flew around, and then I decided to try it down a little lower to the ground, and
What kind of flight time did you get?
I think I got. You're not seeing it on the screen at the bottom, but I
No.
think I got. We'll see. I think I got over 4 minutes.
Nice.
But this.
Now, did you find it annoying to plug that second battery in?
No, not at
No?
all. No.
Went in
But
smooth?
I think the answer for that drone is if you're going to fly that drone a lot and you're not really married to all those 1S batteries, the thing to do would be to
Right.
put an XT30 connector on it and get some dedicated 2S cells and with XT30s. I think that would be a lot more convenient. Now, if you got a whole pocket full of
I do.
a whole bucket full of those little 1S cells, then I would keep it the way it is. Or you could make a little adapter, a little short little adapter from the XT30 to that adapter that comes with it. You cut it off
Oh, that's
and
an
just put
idea.
a female XT30 on the end, and then put a male XT30 on the drone, and then you can plug it into that or a battery direct.
Well, couldn't you also use, because doesn't it come with a little jumper so you can just fly one pack, and they make 2S packs that
Yeah, but
are 2S.
You still got that little connector which limits current, and it's going to impede an XT30 will actually you won't get as much voltage sag with it when you punch it, but it's a great easy to fly little drone. It feels like a Tinyhawk. Is this where I decide to go up higher above the highway to take a look?
That's cool.
Yeah. I
So
think
where
I
are
went-
you at, Mitch? Where are you standing?
I'll show you when I come back around. You'll see my car, and I'm sitting in a little lawn chair right in front of my car.
You're way up there.
Is that cool? You see that?
That's a
Yeah,
good 200 feet.
oh, easy. Yeah, easy. But here I put look there. Said I better get my ass back down here.
Dive
So,
bomb.
dive bombing. Now you see the white car right over there by the road.
On the right.
Oh, okay. I got it. You
Right
know,
there
when
behind
you're
me.
up that high, you could have done like 3 flips.
I know. I could have done all that. I wasn't thinking. That wasn't the idea. I just wanted to get.
I
it up
know,
in
I
there.
get it.
Here, there I am. See, I fly right by myself there, sitting in a
You
chair.
don't have a beach umbrella to hide under?
Not for a flight not for one little 4-minute flight. So you
Yeah,
can't see the timer, but it's at 3:46 right now.
You know what's funny, Mitch, is when I'm flying live, I got people in my ear like Carlos and stuff, and they egg me on, and then you
I
start
know.
showing off, and that's when
I
you
know.
crash.
Don't blame it on me.
I gotta blame it on
Suggestions.
Thank you, Rick. I appreciate that. Yeah, it flies great. I'm probably going to fly this little drone a lot. When you're flying these little drones, they feel just like flying a bigger drone.
Yes, they do.
It's a lot less fuss.
There is a lot less fuss, and Carlos and I have talked about that a lot of time. It's more like carefree flying.
Yeah, And I
You know what
grabbed
I
my
tell,
I grabbed my radio and I grabbed my goggles. I grabbed a couple batteries and the little drone and jumped in the car. I didn't pack up my backpack. I didn't pack up my transmitter case and all. You know, I just grabbed the things and went.
I mean, you can even do that in the yard that you have there, Mitch. That's like 5-6 times the size of mine.
Well, and that's what we were talking about, the live flies. I mean, Mitch has a perfectly flyable yard for his
Yeah,
flies where he lives.
alongside of me. Yeah. See, I'm at 5 minutes and 6 seconds on this flight with two of those 450.
Wow.
It's got
That's
two of them.
pretty
But I'm not
good.
doing a lot of punching. I'm not punching a lot. I'm just basically cruising here.
No,
See?
but sometimes it's just fun to cruise, man. I like cruising.
Cruising
There it
good.
is. So
Now,
it
you
was
could've
5
done a-
minutes. What's that?
Could have done a few gaps to that gazebo thingy, though.
You know, and I will, and I will. But
We're gonna hold you. We're gonna hold you to that.
But you
Everybody-
know, here-
Hey, man, I'm just pushing you, Mitch. That's all.
here's where I took off. Let me, I make it full screen, and a lot of it disappears off the screen, so I can show you the whole thing with the whole. I use that big font on the OSD.
yeah, I need to do that.
It's called Clarity. So when you're in beta flight and you're in the OSD page, down at the bottom it says Font Manager. You go in there and then you pick a font called Clarity and say Upload Font. And then the next time you turn your radio on, you'll have these nice big dark white letters, which make it real easy to see. Now, a lot of guys don't like that. They don't want to see letters. They just want to see the picture.
I could deal with both.
But you can see I'm kind of in the way of the RSSI, but you see it's 70, 80, 70. I think it went down to 50, 59, and it's only got that little SPI receiver. Now, one of the things that I did on my jumper is there's a way in the jumper where you actually tune the frequency of the transmitter.
Hmm.
You fine tune it, okay? And a lot of radios don't need to, but on some of these you do. And I found that when the factory tune was off, and when I fine tuned, you only have to do it once because it all depends on the the oscillator frequency of the radio. But I only did it once, and it seemed to help all the quads except on 2.4 gig on 900 megahertz, the R9 stuff. That's all handled by that module. But when I first flew that Tinyhawk Freestyle, I kept getting critical signal when I wasn't that far away, and I went and retuned the radio, and it stopped all that nonsense. So if somebody is interested in how to do that, remind me on Sunday night, and we'll go over how to fine tune your radio. It's really simple to do, and you'll be amazed.
D16 or D8?
Well, you could. It's for any radio. It's basically.
No, I know, but which one did you hook up?
Well,
to?
I used one of the D8 receivers to tune it.
Okay.
But what you do is you hook up you go into the place in the setup in the radio for that where the fine tuning is, and it's on 0. So then you take your quad, you put it about 10 feet away, and you start increasing it until it fail safes. And you break down the number. Let's suppose it fail safed at plus 50. Okay, and then you start going back the other way, and the signal will come back, and you go to the negative side until it fail safes. Let's suppose that it fail safed on the negative side at minus 20. So the range of your signal was from minus 20 to plus 50. So you add the two of them together. And divide by 2. So you subtract them rather, and you divide by 2. You end up with a plus. If you're plus 50 and minus 30, you're going to end up with, I think, around plus 10, half of the difference between the two. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's weighted towards the plus side because you went all the way to 50 before it fail-safed. You only went back down to 30. That means that plus 10 is halfway between the two, and that's where you have to leave it tuned to, and that tunes it right on the center of your receiver's frequency. And I tried it with a couple of different receivers just to make sure, and it came out the same no matter what receiver I did. So it's just showing me that the transmitter was just a little off in the frequency it was transmitting. And it really helped on the range, because as high as I went today, I would have been almost fail-safing with that little D8 receiver. Like I did.
All radios can do it. You just have to set it.
Not all
Well,
radios. I
would
don't know.
like
I don't know if you can. I haven't even looked at my QX7 to see if that setting's on there. If it's yeah, it should be there. If it's
radio setup, maybe.
yeah, it should be there. If it's in
Maybe model setup.
open. No. Yeah, it's in. I'll show you where it is. Here, hang on a second.
I would like to bring up something that Mitch, you mentioned earlier, and that is these pre-built quads are mass produced, and even that RX antenna on the bird could be just a millimeter or two too long or too short. That changes the
possible.
wavelength.
It's possible. So what I want to do is I want to look here and see. Here it is. Right under where it says bind, there's a setting that says
Frequency fine tune.
frequency fine tuning. You notice this one's set to -20, and that's where I had to go. So what you would do is you plug in your quad, and then you'll see the RSSI right over here on the right hand side. Let me plug in this quad. You'll see what I'm saying.
That'd be cool.
If I plug this, and these little receivers have telemetry, you see it says RSSI right there, it lit up. See it? See it moving?
Yep.
So then I would just go into this setting, click it, and start increasing it or decreasing it. It was -20 until the RSSI went to 0 and it says signal lost. See? So let me bring it back up to where it says signal found.
Telemetry recovered.
No, the RSSI is back.
Yeah, so let me go back until it drops it out. See, -54.
Telemetry lost.
All right, so it's
There it goes,
-55.
55.
It lost it at -55. So now I want to go to the plus side
Telemetry recovered. Telemetry lost.
and find out where it lost it on the plus side. It lost it.
Telemetry recovered.
15.
17, 18, 19. All right, 20. So -55 plus 20
That's
is
75.
yeah. So the 75, half of that is no, half of the difference. You have to take the difference. Anyway, I had it set it. I had it set it. I had it set it. Yeah, but I had it set at -20 because it might have come out a little different. So I'm just going to set it to -20, and that's where I get the strongest signal on this particular transmitter. And it was you can see that it was off, and doing that really increased the range on this thing. Anyway, so there we have a little workshop tonight.
That's good to know. But mine
Yeah,
doesn't
I
have
didn't know that. I saw it on somebody's YouTube video. You know.
I don't have that option on the bind, just for the record.
You don't have it on yours?
No, on the bind, it's internal or external.
You know, it's possible that it's only a part of the it's part of the protocol module.
Right.
And in the code for OpenTX, there's probably a line of code in there that says, if this piece of hardware exists, then display this line and go into the routine that allows it to be adjusted. And if it's a different piece of hardware or not a multi-protocol module, then that line simply wouldn't show up. So that more than likely is why it might show up on some radios and not some of the others. Yeah, you're right. Birdman Grayson Hobbies did a video on that when they first put out the jumper, and I had seen it back then, and I said, that's nonsense. Well, it wasn't nonsense. It turns out that it was a problem with the multi-protocol modules that they weren't nailing the frequencies dead on. So,
You see what John Day wrote?
yeah, I hope you're. Yeah, okay, well, hang on.
Limited time offer. No purchase necessary. Offer valid at participating locations. Void where prohibited. No animals were harmed during the production of this soundboard. Subject to change without notice. Side effects include dry mouth, occasional pig snort or two, sore stomach, teary eyes, achy jaws, and whatever tingles well. Laughing heart.
Okay, that disclaimer goes for technical advice and political opinions. Okay.
CYA. Good job.
Ah, you know, I got a good lawyer, you know. He makes me do that.
You Cheatham and Howe?
Dewey, yeah, Dewey, Cheatham and Howe is right.
Yeah. What's the old joke? The Jewish what is it called? Jewish sushi bar, so sushi, something like that. I don't know. Never mind.
Must be
Anyway.
that joke must be older than me, but
Yeah.
you know, I just got for the fourth time today. I got some phishing email from that says Netflix, but it's one of these phishing emails that wants you to try to. And I keep reporting it as a phishing email, but they keep sending them over and over and over again. Stupid thing.
Builder
Full.
710 has joined you.
Oh, hey, Builder, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. So, how you doing, Rick Halber? Are you doing any flying?
That's right, with a training.
My ex Birdman says his X10 Mega Whoop is kind of funky.
Define
I
funky.
installed XM Plus RX, but it doesn't seem to have range issues.
It's only
Close up.
up close where it has the range issues.
Well, that doesn't now. Now, what'll happen with a lot of these receivers is if you put the transmitter right on top of the receiver, it'll swamp it, and you'll lose a connection. I sometimes, if I got a quad sitting and I'm working on it, and I got the transmitter sitting right next, and I get it just a little too close to here, telemetry lost, move it away a little bit, and the telemetry found. So it'll just swamp the receiver.
Like over modulates or something.
Yeah, just loses its mind. It's like sitting in front of a 130 decibel band. Your brain quits working. You know? Rat is here. Says, "What's up, humans?"
That's
And
his
monkeys.
usual
Hi,
greeting.
Rat.
Don't forget the monkey. You know the monkey. I got the monkey hiding behind the microphone. And
Rob is saying it's an antenna thing.
what's an antenna thing?
If he flies right over him, that's when it drops out.
That's possible. That's possible because you know when you have an antenna sticking up like this, the pattern that it radiates is to the side and in a loop that comes right back in the top like this. So if you're directly over it, you've got almost no signal coming out the point out of the end of that thing.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and that's why when you're flying with an antenna like this, it's always a good idea to keep it kind of tilted back just a little bit, so there's a little bit of an angle. And the only time you'll actually fly in the dead zone is if you're flying behind yourself. But normally you'll be coming right off the front of it. See, right off the front here, and that's where you want because the signal is a loop shape off the front of the antenna like this.
That's how I have my SkyDroid antennas when I'm flying, doing the live flies. I have one
and-
straight
and-
up, one to the side.
Yeah, does that look familiar? I do the same thing.
Exactly. Yeah, it looks exactly like that.
One polarized this way, one polarized this way. So if you are directly above it, this antenna is going to pick it up in its maximum area. See, if you're
Yep.
flying up here, you're perfect for this antenna. If you're flying over here, which is off the end of this antenna, you're perfect for this antenna. So if you got two antennas, it's better to angle them like this and try to keep it so that you're always flying in front of this angle, because if you angle it this way, that's not going to help you very much if you're out there.
Run into trouble.
Yeah. Now that's what these omnidirectional antennas, patch antennas on the goggles are another thing. And
Birdman's asking a question about Crossfire. I think Mitch runs R9.
Or not.
Crossfire runs 900 megahertz, correct? Yeah, Crossfire is a long range, 900, 915. It's in that same band as the R9. And Rick Halber, I am still the reigning old fart champion of FPV here, guys. We thought that Bruce Simpson, XJet, might have been a contender, but Rick Halber says he checked with XJet. He's 67, so I got him by 6 years. He's just a mere.
How about John Moore?
I don't know who John Moore is.
I'll put it in at the end. There's a guy I'm
really hoping that
he's pretty old.
I'm hoping I'm not the old. Yeah, but does he fly? Is he like FPV guy?
FPV, yeah. He
Yeah?
does reviews and everything, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was kind of hoping that I might not be the oldest FPV guy on the planet.
See, Mitch, so you just don't want to be the oldest guy with a drone.
No, I'd have to change my channel name to be the oldest guy with a drone and a drone. Hey, Ray, how you doing? Ray Kelly's here.
Hi, Mitch.
brother
Hi,
Ray.
Carlos. Hi, Ed. Hi,
Hey, Ray.
everybody.
How you doing? Well, Ed, we got him here. We
Good to
got
be with you.
2 New Yorkers, 2 Floridians.
That's right. Forget about it.
Forget about it. In opposite corners here too. You know, speaking of forget about it, I watched a video last night. It was the 20th cast reunion of The Sopranos. Cast.
You know, I never
That
saw
was,
one
that was
of
a great series. It really
No,
was.
it was great, and they had the guy that played Hesh. The old guy Hesh, he's still around. This was 20 years ago. He was there. The guy that played Junior, you know, Junior, who was another old guy in it, he was there, which shocked me. I didn't realize that those guys would still be alive. And what's his name? Tony Sirico that played Paulie Walnuts, the one with the skunk hairdo. He was there. And of
I
course,
like
the two kids in Meadow, you know, the young lady Meadow, she's 37 years old now, and the kid who played the son, Robert Eiler, still looks like he's 15 years old. Unbelievable.
A lot of the locations that they filmed
Hey,
on that show were
Chris.
over in New Jersey, right across the river.
Chris Hope. Howdy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hello,
That was.
Chris. How you doing, Chris Hope?
I'm good.
Hi,
How
Chris. How
y'all?
you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in, man.
I need to break the party up a little bit. Put an oddball in here.
That there is.
That's all right. That's all right. We got a nice
I
crowd
know
tonight.
one thing.
This
I'd
is,
like to have a beard like Chris has there.
Not
My
me.
wife won't let me grow a beard, though.
Oh, speaking of beard,
we're-
there's a
okay.
guy, Quad Farm, that has a product that he puts out, and he makes it himself in Wyoming called, well, it's a beard balm, and maybe he'll put a link, if you don't mind, Mitch. And
I
you
don't
guys
care.
could take a look and pick it up if you like, but I know there's a lot of bearded fellows that might just like this product. So, Rob, if you hear me, I hope you're still out there. Put it out there.
What is a beard balm?
Yes. I guess it's like, I don't know, a conditioner?
Brill cream for your beard?
Or maybe like a moisturizer conditioner.
Nephrodane.
A little dabble, do
Nephrodane,
you?
man.
Remember that little
Yeah.
dabble, do you?
Oh, yeah.
Dippity do.
Yeah.
Dippity
Oh,
do. Also,
God.
a little dabble, do you?
I
I
keep
think my
mine
father
short.
used that. Wow, you're
I
old.
just keep mine short, and that makes it a lot easy. Now,
There you go,
speaking of
guys.
hair, speaking of haircut, man,
I got one.
I don't know if you guys can. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. Can you? I'm getting ridiculous back here. Can you see how?
You need a rubber band and a ponytail going on. Steve.
You know, if I keep this up, I'm gonna have to have a ponytail. But
You look like that. You look like that Jeff Dunham puppet.
I know.
Oh,
You got a built-in beard. You
I
got
know,
a built-in
Here.
yarmulke.
There, see the resemblance? Look.
That's Walter, right? Isn't his name
Yeah,
Walter?
That's you, man.
Yeah, yeah. I could hang Walter right up here like this, and nobody know the difference.
you know, he's like wearing a headset now.
Oh, look at that. I mean, see that? see the back? See that? Okay, now look at this. Look at this. Same thing. You know.
Mitch is flying a bobblehead.
It's cool, huh?
I never knew I was so bald until I started flying drones.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, you never look at the back of your head.
I never realized.
Listen.
I'm like, who is that guy?
Every time I
Hey,
every
Chris,
time I go
let's
to this
see the
every
back
time
of
I
your
go to
head.
this shot, every time I go to this shot, I say, oh no, back to this shot.
What were you going to say, Ed?
I was asking Chris what kind of bass bag he had going on the top of his head.
Oh, I'm nearly as pretty as Mitch.
Oh,
There you go.
why is you laughing?
It's a little long. It's time for a trim.
Just a little long.
You know, I don't know if I've ever seen you without the hat on, Chris. Put that on. Let me see that again, man. Look at
That's the
you.
first time.
Oh, all right.
Hey,
My
you almost
estimation.
look like
you
Chris
just-
Kringle, Chris.
You just went, Chris. You just went from here right on up to here,
Oh,
man. Yeah, because
Man,
that's
I
the
wore-
perfect combination. Is bald with a nice beard. I mean, that's,
He had
that's
more hair under his nose than above it.
yeah.
my wife would disagree with you, Mitch.
Hey, Chris, I thought Chris Kringle lived in the North Pole. I didn't know he moved to Texas.
Hey,
He's a snowbird, apparently.
I'm north of somewhere, Ed.
That's funny.
Well,
Well,
I
you're
just
still-
figured something out with the Mavic Air 2, just to let you guys know.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, I've been flying it for about a week and a half, and I'm trying to upload my video and my photos. And I most of the time I upload them right on my iPad, and the videos would not upload. I was driving me nuts. The photos would upload no problem, but the video I just couldn't get it done. Finally, I figured it out about 20 minutes ago, just before you went on the air, Mitch. I was shooting in 4K, and it was just too much for the iPad to handle. So I knocked it down to 2.7K, and now
Yeah.
they upload no problem.
Are you shooting in 264 or 265? Which
That's a
codec?
good question.
Yeah, because H dot
Good
eight.
question.
Yeah, because H
Obviously,
dot.
he does not know the answer to
Yeah,
it.
H.265 requires a lot more processing on a.
Well, I tell you, I was just so happy that I finally figured it out. And all I use is one of these little things right here.
Yeah, okay.
That's it. I take the smart card out, plug it in the iPad, and it was working no problem. But I'll be able to edit some videos now, no problem.
Cool. Good. Then we'll be looking for some.
Footage. We're looking for footage now.
We're looking for footage. Yeah.
Well,
You guys see that?
Here's something that confuses me, and I'd like somebody to shed some light on this because, I know everybody's about the 4K and the 2.7K, but you can't really get anything above 1080 via YouTube, can you?
Well, no, you can upload it to 4K in YouTube, and if you have a 4K streaming device, you can and a 4K TV, you'll actually watch it in real 4K. Whether you're going to see that much difference or not
Sorry.
is a different story. I know that I have a 4K TV in my family room with a Roku 4K stick in it. So when I go on that to YouTube and pull up one of these like 4K scenery channels, there's Lounge 7 is the creator who has these terrific, beautiful scenery and music, very relaxing stuff, and it's all 4K and it's all color graded to the hilt. So, it's, I mean, the blues are always like blue, and the skies are always over, but they're gorgeous stuff. And if I sit back where I normally watch it, can't tell the difference with my eyes. But if I get up close to it, like I am to this computer monitor here, then I can see the sharpness of 4 times as many pixels. But from an average distance of watching TV from across the room, people will say I can see the difference, but you got sharper eyes than I do, I guess.
I'm
I
not,
can't tell difference.
Well, I flew the Mavic Air too, and I caught some of the sunset, but I always keep it on automatic exposure. And I finally switched it over to manual, and I dialed it down, and it came in so much better. I tell you, I'm learning something new every day.
Well,
Every
you
day
know,
I
you
learn
can-
something new here.
You can leave it in automatic and just dial the exposure value down, and it'll effectively do the same thing. It'll darken it up a little bit. You don't need to actually start fooling with shutter speeds and f-stops and all that. Although you can't you don't have an aperture on that drone. Is that right, Chris? On the Mavic
No, I don't
2
think so,
Air
no.
2, there's no
I don't have
aperture.
the air too. I didn't jump off and buy this one. I bought the Mini. What I got.
Yeah. Did you see the guy put up a video today where these birds attacked his Mavic Mini?
No, I didn't see it.
It's funny you say that.
Yeah, this bird just knocked it down and crashed it and broke it.
I was flying mine. I flew mine. I did a little range test the other night for my own personal satisfaction. I carried it out over a mile. I think about 6,200 foot. I think somewhere around there. And I was bringing it home, and I call them bull bats, but and they come out at sundown, and that's when I was flying. And this dude was wearing me out about halfway back.
Yeah, they want to attack, don't they?
Yeah.
That little drone is somehow a threat to. Maybe they think it's a big insect or something.
You know,
from the noise, because of the noise it makes.
He could have. They're part of the raptor family, and he could have very well. He could have took it down, no problem. And the other thing I've noticed is some people call them mud martins, chimney sweeps. You know, them little old birds that build under bridges and stuff. They don't like it either, at all.
No, I saw that this afternoon. I was kind of thumbing around on YouTube and found this
All
channel.
in all, though, I really like that Mavic Mini. Other than the wind, you got to be very careful in the wind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Man, it's so the Mini is so handy. I mean, I carry it everywhere with me in my backpack. It's so small. 30 minutes flight time.
Does it have a sport mode, Chris?
Yeah, it has sport mode.
Yes.
That's not a 50 mile an hour sport mode, but it gets up to
No, I know.
24, 25.
Okay. That's cool.
And it's what's funny, and I'll get off the Mini here in a second.
No,
I
keep
flew
going.
I flew it out over 6,000 foot, and I turned around and brought it back. I lost signal, and it turned around and come on its own. And when it got back to me, it still had 15, 16 minutes of battery left.
Man,
That's the cool part, is the flight time.
It's an
That's the
awesome
one
little
thing I-
drone. It really is.
Yeah. What's the flight time on the new Mavic Air? I haven't really heard
they
nobody
say it's like 30.
The Mavic Air
They
2
say
is
30,
34 minutes.
34 minutes, which means you get probably 27, 28 minutes out of it.
Yeah, that's a long time to fly.
You know, when you're flying FPV, after 4 or 5 minutes, you're ready to land.
Oh, I
Because
can
it's-
imagine.
Because it's exciting. And if you don't believe me, just look at what Ed is doing here.
Yeah, he's zipping around there. I'm ducking here, watching it.
Yeah.
Ed,
We just crashed. Oh, look at that.
Mike Kelly had to stand off with a hummingbird.
Really? Well, you know, the model airplane field where my club is on a county dump property. And it used to be that the dump was way, way on the other side of this huge piece of property. And you know, not only couldn't you smell it, but it was way, way out. Well, over the years, the dump keeps coming, the landfill keeps coming closer. Is that Ed making all that racket?
How do you make the noise on it?
Yeah. I'll mute him. I think that was him.
It may have been. I just got me a drink. It might have been my ice.
I thought I heard like wind noise. Anyway, so they keep getting closer and closer to the flying field, and with not only do you get the smell from the landfill, but the birds,
Right.
thousands
Yep.
of these seagulls, and it's almost it's unflyable now out there, which means the club better
the
find another
airfield-
field.
The airfield in West Palm, I don't know if you ever flew there, Mitch, but it's the same thing. It's very close to a dump, and the birds. The birds are a problem, I guess you could say. But again, that airfield is more conducive to remote control airplanes. They have a little area for drones, but it's more for RC air.
There's a prejudice in the RC community.
Absolutely.
Heavy prejudice against drones, and
Right.
and actually there's a prejudice against helicopters too.
Really?
Yeah, when I first started flying, well, and the complaint is, you
Why
guys
do you
are,
think
anything
that
that hovers is in the way. You know, they're gonna come by 100 miles an hour, and you're out there, you're just a target. You know, so then they started making separate areas of the field for helicopters, and they would make us go out and fly in the helicopter area. And then, but they just, for some reason, I don't know why. When I had been out of the hobby for a while. I went back to my old club. I brought out some drones, and I felt like I had leprosy, the way these guys were treating me. You know, can you just, you need to go way out there, somewhere up halfway up the landfill where the trash is. It'd be okay for you to fly over there. And I got to the point where I just stopped going out. And that's when I went and found this park where I fly. I just got tired of the attitude.
I was introduced to by my friend. He's the member of the club, and he would always throw in, "He's a drone pilot. Don't hold that against him."
Right?
Wow.
Yeah, and it's true, and it's sad, and that's why if the drone community is counting on the AMA to look out for their interests, you got another thing coming. The
No.
AMA cares only about their flying fields, that they protect their club fields, and anything past that they could care less about. And normal model airplane guys don't go to the park to fly. We're flying in a lot of cases big, heavy, fast airplanes. You want to have the safety and the camaraderie of the club and a dedicated flying site.
You need
where
room.
you're not going to be getting anybody in anybody's way or interfering with anybody. And the only problem with the new AMA rules is that they call them FRIAs, these areas that are designated as okay to fly in, aren't going to be renewable when you're not going to be able to get any new ones. So eventually, over 5, 10, 15 years, all flying sites will be gone, and that'll be totally and completely the end of the hobby. So. And people are counting on the AMA, and the AMA is like any other organization. They care only about themselves, and collecting their dues and having their contests and their shows, but they don't even consider drones to be part of the RC hobby. We're something else. Yeah, it's terrible.
I think it's because they're jealous. Because we can hover and they can't.
Well, I could hover with helicopters. I mean, that
That's true.
hovered.
But helicopters are just plain scary, Mitch.
Well, here's. I was playing this during my introduction, but I'll show you. This was taken in 2009 at our club field. I was right out on the runway, but I was one of the senior members of this club, and nobody gave me shit about anything. So, unfortunately, I don't have that status. But this is this is a 600 size helicopter, about a 5-foot rotor blade span.
It looks pretty big.
Yeah, it does
It's
look
a pretty
big.
good. It's a good size helicopter. Let me get me out of the way here, and make it a little bigger so you can see it. Now this. Believe it or not, this was 2009, and one of the members of our club is a guy named Dave Cyrack, and Dave Cyrack was the one of the chief photographers for Channel 9 in Orlando, and he was out there at the field. In fact, these pictures you're seeing of the helicopter, Dave was shooting them with one of his TV station cameras down on the field. But he had something brand new that had just come out and nobody ever saw, and it was called a GoPro. And he said to me, that's me standing there I am, and he said to me, wouldn't it be cool if we stuck one of these GoPros inside the door of your helicopter. And I said, yeah, that would be cool. So what you're looking at here is probably one of the first times anybody ever stuck a GoPro in a model airplane.
I was going to ask if you were FPV,
That's cool.
but yeah.
No, I'm flying the helicopter line of sight there. And I play it a sound, but I put some music behind this, and it's copyrighted music, so I can't play it. But you can actually hear the sound of the helicopter.
No, they sound really cool.
Yeah, but that here, let me hold on a second here.
Yeah, you're allowed a few seconds. You get
Yeah,
away with
I don't
a
want
few
to.
seconds.
I don't want to do that. But
Listen,
this
I
was,
get you. I
but this
understand,
is great. And you know, I found these old videos which I hadn't seen in a long time, and I said, man, that gives me the urge, and that's why I've dug out some of these old helicopters that I'm working on, putting flight controllers in, because I really enjoyed flying them, and I enjoyed flying them line of sight like this.
How big is the one that you put the cube in, Mitch?
That's a 800 millimeter
Well, with the-
blade. length.
Okay, even
With this,
This
bigger
is-
yet.
with this,
This is-
camera
this
angle,
is-
you seem like you're right in the helicopter flying around
Yeah,
with
because
you.
the camera, and interestingly enough, I looked in the helicopter a couple weeks ago, and you know the clip-in mounts that the GoPros use that snap in, that have the adhesive on them. The mount is still in the helicopter, where he snapped. He gave up one of his mounts to mount it in my helicopter, and we never popped it out of there. So it's still in there. The original GoPro mount, and this was. And you can see that the picture is kind of waving a little bit. And that's because back in those days, the electric motors would interfere enough with the cameras where you'd actually get some interference.
No, it looks pretty good to me.
That doesn't happen anymore. But these pictures here were shot by a professional TV cameraman using some big bucks equipment. The resolution, unfortunately, on this video that I did was not up to what his cameras were.
No, he's pulling it in really good,
What's the
though.
flight
Yeah,
count?
he did really good, and that I
Nice
still
landing.
have that. You know, I still have that helicopter. You guys, if you've ever seen me fly around inside my house, it's actually on my desk. Now the other helicopter, not that one. Where is it? No, that's not it. There it is. This is the big orange one right here. And this was, I've showed you guys this before. This was our first attempt at aerial photography. And this was in 2009 as well. With this big ass helicopter and a camera platform with a kind of a homemade gimbal on the bottom that actually had a regular video camera on it.
And you got retractable landing gear on it. That's awesome.
Yeah, and the gear comes up, and the gimbal at the bottom, no matter which way the helicopter turns, always points in the same direction. But it's not nearly. Remember, at this particular time, there were no such things as drones. Not a multi-rotor had ever flown.
Right.
There were no flight controllers. There were no gimbals. There was no DJI. This was, 2009. And we wanted to be in the aerial photography business with this thing. And we were
So 11
trying.
years ago.
Yeah, and we were trying to figure out, and this is a two-pilot operation. One guy flying the helicopter, one guy flying the camera. And if you see
Oh,
me
wow.
down there looking into that black hooded thing, that's the TV screen and I've got the transmitter that's flying the camera. And my buddy Bob over next to me was flying the helicopter, and it took two guys to do this, and the pictures were shitty. This is what we got out of the helicopter. They weren't very stable. They
Got
bounced
the
around
long
all over
white
the place.
sock.
I think I'd be me. Well, I wore these not long, the regular high white socks, but there's always bugs out there at the field. I don't want to get all bit up, so.
That's very cool.
But
So
that's
what's
the
with
helicopter.
the platform? Like
Well, the platform
I
is
guess
the-
that was
Mitch,
to mount
you
the
were a
gimbal to.
pioneer, no doubt about it. You were a
Yeah,
pioneer.
and
the camera drones and all that.
Yeah, and I've
It's
said
amazing.
many
I'm
times
amazed.
I've said many times that you can always tell who the pioneers are.
Yeah.
They're the ones with the flaming arrows in their wagons.
That's very
this-
cool, man. That
But
really
yeah,
is.
and that helicopter cost a fortune back then, and that's
I
what
bet
I've
it
been,
did.
and that's the one I've got sitting here that I'm putting the cube in, and it's ready to fly, but I'm hesitant because if that flight controller doesn't do what I want, it could flip the friggin' thing out and wreck it, and I don't want to do that. So what my plans are is to
Wow, that was close.
put a flight controller
Yeah, I
in.
know.
I want to put a flight controller in a T-Rex 600 helicopter that I have, and with Arju Pilot, and make sure that we get that. That was we had formed a company called Florida Skycam and everything to do it back then. It was December 20th, 2009.
It's a good looking helicopter too.
Yeah, that's actually a line. That's a Japanese company, Align, ALIGN, or Chinese, that makes these helicopters, the T-Rexes. They're probably the biggest brand of them. And this is a fuselage they actually sold that is designed for a T-Rex 600. But I had another helicopter that I managed to install in there, and I still have that. It sits up on top of my hutch over my desk, and it's been an ornament now for 10 or 15 years, and I might get it back out again one of these days.
I don't know if any of you guys ever did photography from a helicopter, but I did it one time. I was filming a fishing tournament at Montauk Point, Long Island, and I remember the pilot telling me, "Do not stick your camera out too far because the wind will take it."
Yeah, you'll
And
lose it.
Right on. I went a little too far one time. I felt the wind, but luckily I didn't lose the camera or myself. But it was scary and it was cool.
Hey, Art.
Art. Oh, here he is.
Oh
Wait
my
a minute.
God, Art.
Wait a minute, Art. Hang on.
Art,
Nobody
yeah.
move. Nobody move. All right, carry on.
It's official.
It's official. Art's here.
Yep, I'm here. I'm sorry I'm late.
No, it's all right.
Overtime at work.
No, just had to grab a quick nap and then make dinner, and then I'm here.
Hey,
Otherwise,
The nap is the important thing.
naps are
Yeah.
important. Look, Mitch, this is my flight today in the backyard. This is what I want you to do.
Where?
Is this
Yes,
after the
oh.
Heinekens or before?
Before.
Well, that's no
It's
fun.
a little mini backyard. You can do this with your tiny book.
Well, that looks good.
yeah.
Not
Cool.
bad.
Mr. Adventure.
It's so much fun. These little things. It's just
That thing is zipping around.
Which
I
one?
could
Which drone was that? The Tiny
this is
Hawk?
the Mobula 6.
Oh,
and
this
it's
is
in
the
black,
Mobula.
just for the record.
Do I need to get one of them? Is that
Oh, definitely. You will
is it
love
better? Is it that much better than the Tiny Hawk?
Yes. No.
Make up your mind.
I'm trying to
different.
figure out different attributes. This one, I like the VTX better. It just flies really zippy. But the other one is smoother. The Tiny Hawk is smoother. That's what I will say.
In other words, get both of them, Mitch.
Correct. Well, you already
That's
yeah,
what Carlos
Yeah.
did.
that's what I do.
We all do that, man. You know, we don't even want to talk about what the collection of these things that I somehow got. You know.
I mean, I got the 19 and the 25,000 because you can get them both. But I just like trying to do stuff in small spaces, close to the ground. It's so much fun.
When I originally ordered the Moby 6, it was back ordered, and Carlos kept telling me, "Man, just cancel the order and get you a Tiny Hawk." I'm like, "Man, I already ordered it, and I want it, and so I'm gonna wait."
Yeah.
You know, I looked for them, and nobody's got them
No, race
right
day
now.
cards,
Everybody's out of stock on the Mobula 6s, and that's
Yeah, you have to wait.
and you know, I had bought one of those Happy Model Snapper 7s, and that was terrible. It had a metal frame and it bent up all the time, and
Yeah.
it was horrible. And I swore I'd never buy another Happy Model product, and along comes this thing that everybody says you got to have.
Right.
I think
Yeah, I heard bad things about that one too, Matt.
It was terrible, and that's the one I picked for my first FPV drone. It almost knocked me right out of the hobby right at the start.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Nice.
Fortunately, I
flat
bought it from Amazon, and I actually sent the damn thing back. Yeah, it was terrible.
A lot of people did that.
So, but you
Mitch?
like the Mobile, huh?
Yes, I think you'll like it. Definitely. It's just,
I love mine.
To fly in a small.
Yeah, I
area.
need another. I absolutely cannot live a day without another quad.
Hey, Mitch, I'm gonna cut out, bud.
Oh, hey, Chris, always good to see you, buddy. Thanks for
Chris.
coming in.
Mr. Kelly, it's nice to meet you, sir.
I don't
Yeah,
think he heard
Mr.
you.
Kelly, you're in Florida
Oh,
too,
Kelly.
mate.
No, Ray
he's
is.
in New York. Haha.
Ray,
I don't think Ray can hear you. He may have
Can you
been.
hear me, Ray?
May have.
Yep, I'm listening.
okay. Yeah,
I'm
it's nice
getting
to
ready
meet you.
to say goodbye too. My dinner is
Oh.
just about ready.
All
thank
right.
you.
So
Okay.
I'll leave it to you guys, and I'll try to listen in.
All right. Well,
All
good to
right.
see you, Ray. Thanks
I'll
for
see
coming
you
in,
all.
buddy.
Thanks for inviting me, Mitch.
Ed, Carlos, Art, take
All right.
care, buddy.
Take
Good
care.
Chris,
night. Bye bye.
Thank
take
you,
care,
Mitch.
my friend. Be good. All
Yes.
right, guys.
Ray,
There we go. Ray hasn't figured out how to get out of here yet, so we'll
You'll
get
make
him
it.
out of here.
Give him a little boost.
He doesn't know how to hang up. Let's get him out of the studio.
Let's
Kick
What's
guest,
up?
it says. Okay, we'll kick guest from the studio. Okay.
Mad Kiwi. Mad Kiwi has joined you.
Hey, Craig, how you doing, buddy? Mate, how are you, mate? Mad Kiwi.
Cheers, Craig.
Yeah, good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, hey, we're hanging in there, guys. Tonight we got a big group here tonight. That's great.
yeah, 19. Wow, that's good.
Yeah, well, Carlos brought all his buddies over from Ed's live stream, which some of the FPV crowd, which is good because that's
That's
kind of
good
where I'm
crowd.
leaning. I'm leaning mostly to the FPV
Yeah.
crowd, anyway. But
And you know what? I don't think they know how much you have to offer. And I'm not trying to just, pump sunshine up your butt. But
Well, thanks. I appreciate
no, I'm
that,
serious
Carlos.
because I know there's other noob tube channels out there. They call them, or like not noob tube, FPV channels.
Yeah.
And they don't. To me, they don't offer the same. What do you think, Ed? How do you feel about Mitch's stream? Don't you think it's always something? You always learn something,
Absolutely.
right?
That's
thank
why
you,
I'm
guys.
here.
I always
Why
start.
else am I here?
I always something.
That-
I know.
Other
I'm
than, of course,
I like
Mitch's
that.
charming personality,
Well, yeah, of course, that too.
that's not the image I'm going for. In
I think
fact,
he was being facetious, to be honest.
oh,
with
okay,
you.
yeah. Gary, Brad Ariels, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, it's funny because if somebody calls me an asshole, well, you're an asshole. I say thank you.
Yeah,
It's just,
really.
I've been working on that for 40 years. It's about time somebody recognized.
I'm pretty sure, well, with the exception of Art, I'm sure the three of us have all been called assholes numerous times.
Me and
we
Ed have
try.
a fond name for each other, and it's basically prick. But,
Yeah, and it's kind of like Jim from Above and Beyond and Adrian Mateo. The two of them, you ever hear them go at each other? It's a riot.
go back and forth.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
how I
that
haven't
was
seen Adrian around here quite a. There's just so many live streams. God,
Oh yeah, now he's got his own live stream.
everybody's got their own, and
Yep.
you say, why do you want to do this?
Hey, Art, are they allowing haircuts in Colorado?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
you
you
look like you got one.
You know what? You gotta wear a mask while they're cutting your.
All right. Did you get a haircut? You look all spiffy today for some
Yeah,
reason.
I got it last weekend.
Ah, okay.
Feels so much nicer.
Looking
I
handsome.
have yet to wear a mask. I just have something about that.
I did. I went to Aldi's today, to the grocery store. And,
Oh, if you go indoors somewhere, you have to.
yeah, because it's so I threw the mask on, and one of the main reasons I threw the mask on was because you know, I don't want anybody looking at me and saying, "How come you're not wearing a mask?" You know, because you wear a mask to protect the other guy, not yourself. So you see somebody without a mask, you know, they're the inconsiderate ones, not you. Hey, look who's here, Mike Kelly.
Look who's there.
Kelly.
How you doing, buddy?
Good. How's everybody doing?
Great,
So far,
great,
so
good to
good.
see you, man. Been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
No relation, right? Mike and Ray.
No. We've
That's
talked
not
several
like-
times. We've
not
talked
like
several
Kelly
times
is
on the
a-
thing.
Not like Kelly is an uncommon name or anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Small world.
Top of the morning to you.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, right?
So what have you been up to, Mike?
Just hanging out, not doing much. Had my
Hanging
first
around.
real estate job, so that worked
Did you
out pretty
really?
well. Yeah,
Yeah. Good for
that turned
you.
out good.
What state are you?
Arizona,
Arizona.
And did you do a video or stills?
both,
Did interior stuff or just exterior?
just exterior. She had
Oh, okay.
the realtor had other people or another person to come and do all the pictures inside.
Ah,
So,
You paid
But-
5-10 grand for it?
you know,
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's the goal.
That's the problem I do know. I found out very early on that you could give it away for free. That was easy.
Yeah, they'll take
Yeah.
that all the time.
And
Yeah.
even then that was tough. You know, you
Yeah.
go to a couple of years ago when I first got my 107, I said, okay, let me go out and try to make a little money. So I went to a couple of realtors and said, you know, let me show you what I can do. I was actually just looking for a place, a house to fly my drone at for fun. I didn't care if I got paid. So I figured, you know, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I said, let me, I'd never done, I've done taking aerial pictures. I've been a photographer, but I don't know. There's tricks and tips when you're doing real estate. There's certain angles, there's certain things that, and you learn that by doing it. So I said, let me, what do you guys,
Oh, he's gonna go, and I'm just saying goodbye. We don't want to interrupt you.
who said you are?
No, Ed. I'm staying.
Ed,
Oh,
I
Ed's
gotta
going
run,
over to-
Mitch.
Okay,
Ed.
say hi to Mike for me, you turncoat.
Yeah, well, I will do that. Hey, look, man.
I'm
You know,
I'm
I just
joking.
I gotta
I'm
put this
joking.
out there.
Some of
Mike
us are
started
loyal.
his weekly stream on Thursday 1 week before you did.
Ed, I'm busted on you. It's fine. Listen, an hour of me is enough anyway. So if I were you, I'd go. Okay.
Cheers, Mitch. And
See you later.
everybody.
All right,
Take
buddy.
care,
Take
Ed.
care.
good to
Good
see
to
you.
see you. There we go.
All right.
That's right. Ed, Mr. Love My Drones.
We were trying to say goodbye without interrupting.
And he's still here. We can't get rid of him. Come on,
ya.
hit the button. There you go.
There
Okay.
you go.
All right. Now that he's gone. Guys.
Now we can talk.
Would you guys like to see
Uh,
my first real estate video shoot?
Sure.
Would you like to see that?
Sure.
I can
Inspire
do
Mike.
it. I can do it. And here it goes.
I'm
Ready?
gonna get a
Make yourself big.
big screen.
That was some house, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Nice. What were you shooting with inside?
Believe it or not, an Osmo, DJI
Oh.
Osmo, stabilized
Wow.
camera with the gimbal. Yeah. and a still camera. A lot of these are stills that I just did the panning in post. You know,
Oh,
Right.
like that was a still. That's a still. That's a still.
very nice.
Oh,
And
that's
this
a lot
was
of-
shot with a Mavic Pro, my first drone, my original Mavic Pro.
I did practice on my house, on my sister-in-law's house. Those are all on my site, on my YouTube channel. So
Oh, you should have flown under that water's being sprayed.
Oh, I would love to have an
Water
FPV drone, but one of the problems with this house was it was the first house. It was a model home, and it was nothing around it but dirt. You know, so when you got the aerials, you got all the dirt. Almost $1 million for this friggin' house.
Wow.
wow.
That's actually pretty cheap. I didn't think.
Well,
I
this
thought it
is
would be
Florida.
more.
This is not New York. This is Florida. Florida is not priced like New York. At least not up in the Orlando area yet, or Melbourne.
Yeah.
Well, probably now it's 500,000. With the market taking a hit right now.
Yeah.
Ooh, how'd you get the drone to go so slow?
Yeah. Yeah.
Tripod mode.
Yeah.
The problem is these homes, you have like 4 people living. They're lost.
That's what I need right now, is a garage like that.
Thinking about getting one of those katana things that you can mount the drone into with the controller and the
Oh,
pads
yeah,
and all that
yeah.
to carry that
Yeah.
all around. They're like $50.
Anyway, that was my, and then I actually did some titles at the end. See, because this was their
Very
model home.
nice.
Yeah, I love you.
And here comes the price: $934,900.
What year was this?
This was 2 years ago.
Oh,
Anyway, that was
it was well
that
done.
was my first. Yeah, that was my first real estate video that I ever did.
You
And,
did very nice.
well, thank
Very
you,
good.
thank you.
Did you
Nobody's
get
ever.
any leads off of that one?
No,
No.
I decided after I talked to a couple of realtors that if I had to pull their teeth to get them to let me do it for free, how am I gonna get money out of these guys? You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well,
you know,
it's-
I kind of almost gave up on trying to make any money at this drone stuff, because at that point everybody and their brother was buying a drone.
Yeah.
If I talked to a realtor, oh well, you know, my partner's grandson's got one of those things and he does it for us for free. I said, well, that's illegal. I said, we don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So call the cops. You know, that's their answer.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And you go, okay, I will. Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah, and the cops are going to come and say, "What are you, crazy? We don't care."
Yeah, no idea.
Call the FAA. The FAA, we don't care.
We don't care.
We don't have the people to keep up with that crap. We only make these laws. You don't expect us to enforce them, do you?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like the pooper scooper law. I don't know if
Yeah.
you guys have. You guys have that law there?
We have some around.
Something like
We have
it.
some around
Yeah.
somewhere.
How about you, Colorado?
What was that?
The pooper scooper law. You have
Oh,
to pick up
yeah.
after the
Yeah.
dog.
You gotta
Okay.
pick up after your pets. Yep.
Yeah,
Cooper
we do it.
Scooper law in here is me running out the front door. Hey, pick up your crap.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the problem. And in my community here, they got the things with the plastic bags all over the friggin' place. And
Yeah,
people still
same
don't.
here.
They still don't pick. And you know what? That's why I don't have a dog. I know, to all you dog lovers out there, they say, "Oh, you don't know what it's like. It's this unconditional love and all that." And I go out walking in the morning, and if the dogs aren't barking at me or straining at their leash to attack me, and somebody said to me, "You need to get a dog," and my answer to him was, "I'll tell you what. When you find me a dog that follows me around and picks up my shit, I'll get that dog."
Tell him you have spanked the monkey. You're good with that.
I got the monkey. Damn right. Good old Spanky. And I don't hear a word for when I'm not live on the YouTube. I don't hear a peep out of him either.
There you go. Hey, by the way, I got my car back yesterday.
I didn't know it was gone.
Well, Monday I went to mail the winner's toffee, and just as I was leaving the parking lot at the post office, car wouldn't start. And crap, I thought it was either the battery or the starter went out. So my friend came out and he went and got a new battery for me, put it in, still wouldn't start. So we got a tow truck. He's got a guy that he goes to, and turned out it was the aftermarket security system that was on this car that caused the problem.
Killed it.
Yep. So
Starter interrupter.
yeah, so luckily it didn't cost a whole lot of money. The only thing they did was they replaced one of the attachments that goes on the anode on the battery. It was like super thin. It was almost
Yeah, those things you got to put every once in a while. You got to scrub them down with baking soda.
yeah. Mhm. Yep. And that was it. So got my car back yesterday after work. So happy. I've got my wheels, and I don't have to have my big sister get up early in the morning, drive me to work.
Uber.
Yeah.
Are you far from work, right?
I'm about 15 miles from work.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
That'd be a long walk.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hey, got a technical question for you guys. Over the weekend when I was doing this shoot, I had a battery error that came up, and when I tried to shut the battery off on a Mavic 2 Zoom, the battery wouldn't shut off, and the lights just stayed on, and the only thing I could do was unplug the battery, and the lights still stayed on the top.
Yeah.
So-
Well, the Mavic batteries.
Yeah.
The switch has nothing to do with the drone. The switch
Right.
just powers the battery on. So you can power
Exactly.
a battery on when it's out of the drone. And you of course, obviously know how to shut it down. You have to press it once, let it go, and then press it down and hold it. And it wouldn't
Yeah,
let you shut it off.
Wouldn't let me shut it off.
What did
I
you
got
do?
the battery error, and I just charged it, and then it only showed half a charge. And I actually pulled the thing out of the drone and was like trying to turn it off, and it would not. It sat out on my patio running down because I was afraid to leave it in the house. I didn't want it to spark and
Yeah, I don't
and
blame
take
you. So
off.
what
So I
what
mean, the
happened to
battery
it?
just
Did you try charging it
nothing
again?
yet. I haven't. No, I haven't tried to charge it yet.
It hasn't puffed up yet, has it?
No, it didn't. It didn't bloat or anything like that. It was.
Did you?
It just threw an error up on the screen on the Go4 app, and then when I tried to, it wouldn't let me take off. It said there was an error. And I tried to. That's when I tried to shut it back off again in the drone, and it wouldn't shut off. I took it out of the drone, and it still wouldn't shut off. So,
Right.
you know,
Do you
I
have
have no idea what.
Wow.
Do you have? How old is the battery?
2 years.
Okay. Did you?
Probably 2 years old.
Have you been updating the firmware in it regularly
Yeah.
when it asks you to?
Yep.
Wow. Maybe your battery.
There's
could
a DJI store here up in Scottsdale, and I'm gonna go up there this weekend and take it and have them look at it and see what they say.
I would, but of course, it's going to be out of warranty.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be out of warranty. I know that. Just
How
tell
many
me what's
cycles-
wrong with it.
How many cycles did it have on it?
I'm not sure. Not a whole lot. I
You
mean,
should do it in the
not like
afternoon.
100 or anything like that.
Yeah, it's possible that by letting it run down and shut itself down.
Yeah.
What happens
that
if
it
you try to
resets.
turn? What happens if you try to turn it on now?
Don't
Or-
know. Haven't touched it yet.
What happens
Like
if
I
you
said,
just
it's been-
push? If you just push the button once to say, like, tell me how much? You know how you do that when you want to see how
Right.
much battery
See how
you have.
full it is.
Just push it once. You're not going to hurt anything. See if you
Right.
get one. See if you get one bar or anything. And if you do, it's possible that having it run down and shut itself off may have. I hate to say fixed it, but might have reset something.
Yeah,
but
rebooted
whether-
or whatever.
But I wouldn't. If it was my battery, I wouldn't fly it again.
No.
No.
Down to 2 batteries. Got to buy another one.
Yeah, and batteries are like that. If you've been in the, if you're an FPV like we are, batteries are disposable things. They're not as dear and as pricey as these Maverick batteries are.
Yeah, I kind of think I'm kind of lucky from what I've been seeing on all these other people. Some people with the batteries bloating up and almost popping out while it's in flight, that kind of stuff. Having one that just throws an air and just won't shut off, that's pretty good, I think, after 2
Yeah.
years.
As long as if you didn't crash a drone, that's
Yeah.
that's
This
good.
is a
But,
Mavic Air 2, you said?
no, Mavic.
Yeah,
2 Zoom.
Mavic 2 Zoom.
That's a great drone, though. That Mavic 2 Zoom. I wouldn't trade my. I have I have a Zoom and a Pro,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't trade either one of those for any of these new drones that are coming out. Not the Autels, not the Mavic
I travel
Air
with that
2s.
thing everywhere. I've gone to Germany. My wife is from Germany, so we go back every couple of years. I've been back twice with the drone. Back to Germany. We go to Florida. I take it with wherever we go. I throw it. That's my carry-on, is my drone bag.
Yep. Same here.
Yeah, it's a great drone, and everybody says to me, you're going to buy a new this, you're going to buy a new that, and I'm not flying camera drones much since I got into this addictive, ridiculous OCD FPV hobby.
Yeah.
And of course then that kind of lit my fire in RC again, having which was my hobby all my life, and I kind of lost interest in it for a while, but now
Right.
I got all fired up in RC. So between the RC stuff and the FPV stuff, I know I got a couple of Mavics back there somewhere.
What about that?
Kind of interested to see what happens with the Mavic 3. See if that's ever
Yeah,
gonna
that's
make it here,
what we need. Yeah, and then of course all this nonsense has come out with this Autel patent,
Yeah.
which is not it. That's nonsense. The odds
Oh, yeah.
of them getting anything enforceable against DJI is ludicrous. The patents are so flimsy at best. I don't know what the politics of this is. You got Chinese against Chinese there, but for anybody
To sell in the States.
but for anybody to be saying right now, ooh, you better hurry up and go out and buy these things because you won't be able to buy them again. That is despicable because it's I can't see
Is that what they're
happening.
saying? Is that what people
Yeah.
are trying to say?
They're saying, oh, they won't be able to buy any DJI products anymore because I'll tell
Hey,
them what the patent.
Carlos,
Pat-
are you
What happened?
afraid of us? You're in the dark there.
Oh, I'm just in a comfortable spot. I didn't want to get up. I should get on my back. It's killing me.
John Coopy says that he says the patents will likely hold, but DJI's worked around it, and that's what I said when I first heard this. I said, anybody thinks that a little money isn't going
right
to change
off, do
hands
it
and it's
better
all
than
going to go away. It's all going to go away. DJI.
Yeah.
Listen, if the U.S. government couldn't get DJI to stop, remember that deal? You're not allowed to buy
They were
DJI drones anymore.
Yeah, because they were
Yeah.
spying on us.
Yeah, if they couldn't get DJI to stop, and DJI is still bringing out new drones faster than you can, they're not going to stop them. The only thing that might stop them is if we completely and totally break from China, which is not likely to happen.
Yeah.
And it's
That's not soon.
hmm
Not anytime soon. Mitch, I'm going to call it a night. I got to stretch my back.
all right, Carlos. Hey,
All
buddy,
right,
thanks,
take care, Carlos.
thanks for
Okay,
coming in,
Carlos.
and
I'll do what I can to keep them coming.
do that, man. I appreciate
Be
it.
interesting.
Yeah,
Take care.
I do the same for you if you had your own live stream once.
No,
in a while.
I'm here for you. That's good enough.
All right, my friend.
Take care, guys.
All right. Good night. Round of applause for my friend Carlos. And here, let me quick make that. There you go. They give you choices there in StreamYards.
I finally solved my VGA to issue. I bought this EVI thing. You know what?
Yeah.
I went out and I got the VGA to HDMI adapter. Bingo. Works great.
Really, a VGA.
Yep, and I noticed my picture is sharper.
Good.
And it seems like everything works a little tiny bit faster, but I notice a difference in it.
That's for a screen, right? That's for your monitor or screen?
Yeah. My monitor. Yeah, I had this monitor here is a 26-inch Westinghouse monitor. I've had it for a long time. And so I wanted to, because my video card does DVI, HDMI, and VGA, and I wanted to, because I do live streams on Sunday with my vMix, and I was having an issue with it was hogging up all my resources. My CPU was going way up there. So Lloyd told me that if I just changed that would really take a lot of stress off the processor, and I won't get as much buffering when I
Cool.
use vMix.
Very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. So, interesting thing happened. I used to have way back. I mean, way back. I'm talking about way back in the 90s.
We're talking Pentium 4.
Yeah, no, we're talking 286s.
Oh,
but
yeah.
what happened? Digital photography had just started,
Oh, yeah.
and websites, the web was just coming into being, but there was very little commercial activity. Nobody had a website to buy anything on.
Right.
There was mostly academic stuff on the internet, and we at the time we were working with some of the local counties to actually start to get some of the public tax rolls online. Hadn't been done before. We actually, and my company actually became a small time ISP, and we had a server room where we actually hosted, because we couldn't, there was CompuServe was all there was, and AOL, that was it back in those days.
Yep. That's
So we started to do this stuff way back in the internet, and then digital photography came out, and I've always been a photography buff.
right.
And I went out and bought like the world's first digital DSLR. Cost $10,000, and it was a 1.5 megapixel camera.
Oh, man.
I have it in a box somewhere. One of these days, it's totally useless. Had a little hard drive in it to store the images.
You
And it
married
had
at that time, Mitch?
What's that?
Were you married at that time?
Oh yeah.
Now I know why you're not married.
Oh no, I was making tons of money back in those days. Money was not the
okay.
problem. That's back when I was living high,
Okay.
with all the big toys and everything. Not poor, I'm not poor like I am now. But no, I because of our stuff starting to do internet sites, and this is back in the day when you had to actually hard code all the sites. There was no WordPress or any of that crap yet.
Yeah.
We got approached to start doing some online catalogs for things, and part of that involved a lot of product photography.
Right.
So I went ahead and set up a complete I had a lot of office space where I was, and I set up a room and dedicated it to be a digital photography studio. And if you guys if you've ever seen that huge tripod that I have, that was from those days. So my son, and then when I left Orlando, moved over here to the coast, I moved into a house that my son had bought as an investment on the river, and so I had moved just tons of crap in there and put it all in the garage, up on shelves, up high, up in the back, and I had tons of stuff, oddball stuff, and some stuff from this old photography studio,
Right.
and so he's cleaning the garage out. He's trying to reorganize it, and he comes across some of this stuff last week, and he calls me up. He says, "Pop, I found these long aluminum pole kind of things. Do you need them? Otherwise, I'll take them to the dump." And I'm trying to think to myself, what the hell kind of aluminum pole kind of things is he talking about? And then it dawned on me that in my studio back then, I had the backdrops, the rolled paper. I had
Yeah.
white, gray, black, and they were all supported on these big posts that had spring-loaded things that clamped up into the ceiling, between the ceiling and the floor. And they're called smart poles, and they're made by Manfrotto, and they're expensive. And sure enough, I had two of them. So I got them home, and I have replaced that hokey green screen support in my studio here. Now, wait, I'm going to show you this because I'm proud of this. Hang on a second. Let me get back into my IV cam here, and let's transition over to here
Francis.
so you can see me. And again, I'm going to take. I don't know if my headphones won't stretch that far, but hold on. Let me turn the light on this thing. That's not what I wanted. Where's the light? The light is here. Okay. I'm going to take my headphones off so you guys
Okay.
can hear me. But anyway, this.
Oh, there you go.
The
Oh,
poles
nice.
that support the green screen.
Oh,
How
wow.
cool is that? So I clamp my little camera up here. Now tell me, how professional did that
Yeah,
look?
that is nice. Well, mine
That stuff
is,
is. Go ahead, Art. I'm sorry.
well, mine is, let's see, I've got a couple tripods on each end with a bar that goes across the top, and I've got my green screen hung over that, and let's see, I made little mounts on the end to hold the rest of the green screen out because I was having gaps before, and now everything is pretty much taken care of. So, well, it's good.
Do you know how old those poles were? 30 years. At least
Wow.
30 years old. Yeah. They look brand new. I
Yeah.
sprayed a little Windex on them, wiped them down. They look like they just came out of the box. They extend up to over 16 feet.
Wow.
So, I mean, even if you have in the place where I have my office, we had drop ceilings, but then there was 4 feet of space above the drop ceilings, and I could go right up past the drop ceiling all the way to the concrete deck on top. And
Wow.
and I think, and they're not cheap. Those things are made by Manfrotto, which of course is big time
Right.
tripod stuff.
Mhm.
So I was thrilled by that because the way I got it set now is I can just roll up the green screen
Yep.
and don't have to bunch it all up. I
Yeah.
just roll it up on the top thing, and it's very neat, and it's out of the way. And when I'm not using it, I can walk under it. I used to have to hold it up. I had all those the legs, the folding legs like you see
Yeah.
on microphone stands, and I used to trip
Yep.
all over them trying to get around them and everything. Now I've
Yeah,
got that
that's
one
how mine is.
pole. Yeah.
Yep.
So that was kind of a nice little find.
Well, you got
those-
the dual stripper poles there.
Yeah, and that's another use for 'em. That's another use for 'em. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Not likely to see much action, but they're there. They're there if you need them. You know. Oh, so what else, guys? We got 5 minutes left. We're gonna lose you in a couple of minutes. Art, is Ken
Yeah.
Hearn on tonight? Is he gonna be on tonight?
yeah. You know who his guest is?
I have no idea.
Lance Geiger, the history guy.
I have no idea who that is.
You've never followed his channel? Oh,
No.
he's got a great history channel.
Really?
Yeah. His name is the History Guy on YouTube.
Stingray wants to know why I have to have 2 stripper poles in my house. Well, you know, if the answer to that isn't obvious, I can't help you. You know.
Twice the fun.
That's right.
Yep.
You never know when 2 of them might show up at the same time.
Yeah.
So,
There you go.
we don't want any hair pulling or cat fights. You know. I think.
Yeah.
I know
Hi, I'm Amber, and I'm Crystal.
I got the sound effect for a cat fight here, and I can't find
Oh,
it.
yeah.
You know, just whenever when you want it, it's just not there. Why is it not there? Why is the cat fight not there? They should be in alphabetical order. Here it is. I know I had it.
Oh, right.
I'm so smooth. I'm so smooth. You know, if Ken Hearn was as smooth as me, he'd have about 35 subscribers instead of 100 million. Well, guys, I think it's time
Yeah.
to call it an evening. And we had a good show tonight. Had a lot of people here.
Right.
Appreciate you having me on.
Oh, you know, my pleasure, Ray. Thanks for stopping by. Anytime. I want to see some of these real estate videos that you're shooting too.
Right.
Yeah,
Put
they're
them up
on
your channel?
my channel, Copper State
what's-
Aerial Photography.
Copper State, yeah.
Yep,
Okay, put your name in the chat real quick so everybody knows what channel is
Yep.
All
yours.
right.
And yeah, I'll have to look for that. You know, there's so many damn channels to keep up with, and that's a problem. I'm not a big YouTube guy, but I got 1,100 subscribers, and of those 1,100 subscribers, there's probably 50 people who come in and out. You know, that are actually real
Right.
people that just didn't subscribe to me and forgot about me. But even with them, to keep up with all the videos that 50 people put up with, so you can, you know, feel like you're trying to keep up with your community, it just takes a lot of time.
Wow, that really went slow. There's a
What's
big lag from YouTube to the yard stream or StreamYard
Oh,
there.
StreamYard, yeah, but it showed up in the chat much quicker than that. But
Yeah.
yeah, YouTube, you get a couple seconds for the StreamYard's metadata thing picks it up. But at any rate, I try.
Oh yeah.
To keep up with as many channels as I can, and I know not everybody keeps up with me, not because they don't like me, but because there's just too much stuff out there, too much stuff. Anyway, guys, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it.
All right.
I'll say goodnight to my 2 guests. Art, I'll let you go first because
Good
Ken
night.
called and wanted to know
All
where.
right, Art.
Yep.
See you, buddy.
Take it easy.
All right. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Okay. I got to find a really good exit. That'd be a good exit sound effect for Art. Ray, thanks for coming in, buddy.
All right. Talk to
Appreciate
you
it.
later.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
you take care of yourself.
Bye bye.
Okay, and that just leaves me and Spank, the monkey. That's a good show tonight, guys. I appreciate it. And all you guys that hung in there with me, Carlos, Rick Halber, John Coopy, thanks so much. Stingray, Mike Kelly, thanks for coming in. God, I'm getting confused. Jody, Drone Shots, take care of yourself. Who else we got still here? Let me go back a little bit in the chat. Birdman, if you're still here, thanks for coming in. I'm sure a lot of the stone hardcore FPV guys have gone over to Mike's channel as well they should. Mad Kiwi, I don't know if you're still here. Gary, Brand Ariels, I don't know if you're still here. But to everybody that came in, thanks so much for coming. And to my guests, I really appreciate it. Thanks for the help, guys. We'll put on a little music here. And we will see you all on Sunday night, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for the FPV workshop. And we'll talk about technical things. So with that, I'm going to say goodnight, turn it over to my trusty sidekick, Spank, the monkey, and let him say goodnight.